Hi, hello everyone on Facebook Live for Disney Alice. I'm here with Helena Bonham Carter, our incredible Red Queen. I'm Suzanne Todd. I'm the producer of Alice Through the Looking Glass, and I was the producer on the first Alice in Wonderland. Helena, as you know, needs no introduction. She's one of the greatest living actors of our time,
Really?
two-time Oscar nominee. Of course, my favorite part of hers is the Red Queen, although maybe Room with a View, the first movie that I saw with Helena, and I fell in love with her then in 1986 and have worshipped her ever since.
Oh, thank you.
You are very welcome.
The worship's mutual.
Oh, so sweet. So we have some questions from you guys, and we are really excited to get started. We're very excited about you guys seeing the movie when it comes out May 27th. We've been working long and hard on this, literally, for years.
That is a long time.
I'm going to go ahead and jump in.
I started it when I was 48 and nearly 50 on the 26th of May.
Oh, and happy birthday coming up. I know.
Yeah.
And speaking of births, we have to do a shout out for our lovely White Queen, Anne Hathaway, who's had her little baby boy.
That's
and
so
congratulations to her. They're all doing really well. Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Yeah, such a sweet name. Yes.
I'm so happy for her.
Your
So
sister
that makes
Queen.
me an aunt.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You have a new little nephew.
Yeah.
Adorable. Okay, so our first question is from Jessica Birch, and she writes, hello, was it difficult for you to get back into character for the sequel, or did it just come flooding back?
I would say, I always have a folder on a file. I'm big on prep, so I had luckily kept the original one, so I looked back on it. She's a pretty easy, once you get certain bits, get into her groove, then it does sort of come back. But so this the speech and that, when you get the makeup on, it was it sort of came up pretty quick.
Right. Eleanor Pellet.
It's like putting on an old pair of shoes in a way.
Oh, right. Her next question leads right into that, which is she asked how difficult it is in the wig and in the makeup. Does that help you get into character, or does that make it difficult?
Well, I like not looking like myself.
But you're so pretty.
No, I don't feel it. I don't particularly. I like acting.
I'm sitting very close to you, and you're very, very, very
Thank
pretty.
you. I disagree, but no. I think the thing is with me, when I want to act, I want to get away from myself, and I like to dress up. It's as simple as that. So the makeup is so extensive, and so that was fun. I love having that all. Having said that, it does take 2.5 hours, and I'm not great at sitting still. And also it is really hot, so you have like 2 ball caps, so you tend to sweat a lot. So,
oh yeah. It's a very thick makeup and that's very high.
But then again, I am a very angry character, and I'm not naturally a necessarily very angry person. So the 2 ball caps help me get angry. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, here's one not so much about the movie from John Mann. He would like to know from both of us our favorite breakfast food.
My favorite?
Yeah. So I don't really eat much breakfast. I have 3 children, so getting out the door in the morning, it's usually more about feeding them and rushing off to school. I don't really eat much breakfast. What about you?
No, I have my cup of tea, then I have my cup of coffee, and then yeah, you're right. It sort of gets. I did have some nice eggs today.
Oh. How do you like your eggs?
I like soldiers and soft boiled and fried.
Wait, what does a soldier mean? That's a British
one. You
one.
don't have a soldier? Don't you have, like, when you have a soft boiled egg?
Yeah.
And then you have your bread and then you cut them in soldiers?
Oh, like with the hole in the middle?
No. You just have a bit of toast and then you slice it up into strips. You've never had that?
No.
Okay.
It's yet another one of those many words that I learned while we were shooting the movie.
Yeah, fingers.
Yeah. There's so many different words for food, as you know, when we were there.
It was a different language.
Endless. Oh, so many of them, because, you say biscuits, or they say bickies, but we say cookies.
That's true.
But then if we say cookie, you don't really have a thing like a cookie.
A cookie, we understand.
Or there's like muffin or scone or biscuit or cookie, they're all different there, right?
A fridge.
Yeah, or also bacon, because if we say regular bacon, you mean strip bacon.
Yeah.
Because if you order bacon there, it means a big piece of bacon, like we call Canadian ham.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
Or a bacon bap. We don't have those at all.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
We don't call it bap.
A bap? You don't have baps?
No.
No,
No.
it is a different language.
Delicious though.
Yeah.
And we have some delicious tea
Yes,
here,
we do.
right? A little.
That would be our breakfast.
Exactly, if you're hungry, dig in. Christina Marie asks, what has been your favorite role of all time? And if you could be that character again, what would you change about how you approach the role?
My favorite, oh, I don't know. I mean, it's like choosing a child. I don't think I have any favorite characters all the time. As for changing anything, I mean, frankly, whenever I see anything I'm in, I want to change the whole lot. So, but the Red Queen is up there. She's one of my favorites. Put it this way: when they said they were gonna, I had to resurrect her. I was like excited. I thought that was, it's like getting an old friend back, and it was fun to, be able to explore her a bit more, and because selfishly, this one explores a bit about why she got such a big head, and her relationship with the sister, and. So it's a bit more me orientated, which is exactly the Red Queen's problem. It's a complete narcissist.
Christy Gary asks, what is a nice or funny memory you had from the set of Through the Looking Glass?
There was one time, the whole thing was when we did the first one, it was green screen, and we all felt sick. There's something about doing green screen, which is when it's like there's the no sets.
Right, and they gave us those purple glasses, which didn't really help at all. It still made you feel sick.
Yeah, you did feel sick.
Right.
You felt like the green was so bright it sort of penetrated.
Right.
This time, quite sensibly, you went for blue, I think. So that was calmer, so that was fun. But so whenever you walked on set, which was massive, and we had more sets, which were more fun, and more useful, frankly, when it came to acting. But this time, there was one time when, so usually, you have to imagine the whole lot, but you put me on a horse that was backwards. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I was thinking like, geez, are they kidding? Are they really thinking I'm completely thick that the queen is riding a horse backwards? So that was very funny. So I have to sit on a horse it's not a real horse, it was a blue thing, a blue, amazingly realistic sculpt,
Right.
that rocked.
Yes.
And I had to sort of very regally, that was funny.
Yeah. Very funny.
It was very funny.
Yeah, I had when we were shooting late one night, and everyone gets very silly, as you know, very late at night. And those of us that hover, in what we call Video Village, where the monitors are, somehow it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we were meant to finish earlier, and we started singing Disney princess songs.
Yes.
And it was myself and Kristen Burr, our executive, and Mia, who was waiting for her shot, and I can't remember which song we were singing. It might have been The Little Mermaid, but we were singing loudly, like maybe as if we had been drinking, although we hadn't been drinking. And then the funny thing was, Johnny came around the corner for his shot, at like a whole lot of us singing loudly, and was just like, "What are you guys doing here? Like, what has happened? Chaos has broken out because you're so tired."
Yeah.
But
no, that was fun. But then also the advantage also was that I was stuck with Anne a lot of the time in a sort of harness, hanging like 20 feet high up or something, and we had a lot of time. So she's a great singer. So we sang the whole of Wicked, mostly Wicked. Right. We did lots of sister songs, so that was fun.
Amazing. Yeah, I have the cutest shot of you at the top of that staircase. Remember how you had to sit for so long for the finale? There was that long staircase, and you guys were waiting a lot in between. And I just took a snap on my phone of the cutest picture of the 2 sisters just chatting at the top of the stairs, the blue stairs, waiting for your shot.
Yeah, no, we had a night. There's a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
Particularly in blue and green screen, because there's so much technical stuff to get.
Well, and also everybody else in hair and makeup too, because even when you were ready, then sometimes, Sasha has his own process.
I don't know how Sasha did it, because Sasha had so much on, and we were very hot. In fact, I seem to remember it was a very hot shoot, because there's lots of lights, and I had a lot of hair and makeup. Johnny, everyone was unrecognizable. That is the funny thing. And the thing is, you never know who's the real one, because like Johnny had about 6 doubles, so you're always going like, so it was very confusing, but that's Wonderland for you, anyway. That's the essence of Wonderland.
Absolutely. All right, Christina Marie would like to know, which real-life queen from history is your personal favorite?
I don't know if I haven't met any. Actually, I'm a liar. I met the current one. She's a pretty good favorite. Yeah. I think she's an amazing woman. Yeah. And she's going to be 90 this year. She's got amazing stamina.
And you met her, did you meet her, you went to the palace, or you met her at an event?
I had a sleepover once.
At the palace?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that.
Is it a secret, like when you go to the White House?
I don't know. It was at Windsor. It was amazing. We had a sleepover, and we were shown. She herself took us all around Windsor and showed her home. This is like after dinner. She's of an age. I mean, she was 87 then, and tirelessly showed us the whole of her castle. And then they have an amazing library where they've got amazing objects from pretty much the whole of British history, like a letter from the Duke of Edinburgh came on. So this is a letter from Napoleon when he basically said, "I'm really sorry that I do actually really like England. This is when he lost, you know."
Right.
And this sort of letter begging that, you know, he wanted to come stay here instead of being thrown out to Elba. And there was sort of so many different objects, like the first clock and everything. And then there's the Queen herself, just sitting and she's playing with a little, I think it was an RAF little model, and just twiddling. The thing is about her and him too, they're both so interested and curious. And I honestly don't think they take their position for granted.
Right.
And they are amazing workers, and they've got a real sense of duty, but also generosity. And she has fun, real fun. And anyway,
Is she funny?
She's
She
very
tells
funny.
jokes?
She's genuinely funny.
Yeah.
Yes, and she is genuinely. She's got extraordinary grace, which is rare.
Ah, that's lovely. I wish our American politicians would take a cue from her. That would be so nice,
No
especially
comment.
these days. we could learn a lot in America about
Who would you
grace.
see the grace for?
Grace and manners. Now, I haven't been to Windsor Court to stay over, but I did visit, and I think I remember the guest rooms are all one color. Is that right? Did you stay in a room where like everything was green or everything was blue? I sort of remember
I
seeing
don't know,
that.
maybe they are one thing. I don't know.
Yeah, there was something like that.
I did notice that. I mean, they were amazing things.
Okay, here's another one. Adela Judalova asks, you said your inspiration for the Red Queen in the first movie was your daughter Nell. Did that change for the second movie since Nell is older now?
I can't really talk about Nell without Nell really shouting.
Because now she's of an age
Now, she's
where it
gonna-
actually
yeah,
she'll
she
hear
doesn't
about
want-
it, right?
She doesn't want to bring
She
it
was
in. Yeah,
younger
so I'm going
then.
to keep Nell out of it. But I have inspiration. I can't really talk about my inspirations. Nothing that I can talk about. But you know what? It's funny. But it was a very therapeutic part because I had to be angry.
Right.
So
Well, and because
But
as
it's
we see
funny.
in the second movie, she had been in the first movie sort of misunderstood, and when you see through the looking glass, you'll have a much better understanding of why she is the way she is,
Exactly.
and in that way that we all have issues from our past that define who we are in our present day. We'll get to understand
Yeah.
that better.
Yeah.
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 She's not such a bad guy.
I don't think anyone's innately bad anyway. And I didn't
Exactly.
think I was bad. I just
Right.
had problems.
Exactly. She just has issues.
Yeah.
And it always comes from a place of pain, right? For
I
most
find
people,
that bullies,
including the Red
the
Queen.
Queen is a bully, and I think with bullies, they always inside are much more scared than anybody else, and they've been hurt. This is probably pop psychology, but they've been hurt themselves, and they want to make sure that they're never going to be hurt again, so they hurt other people before they can be hurt. So you go back to that point where they were hurt and unravel it, and this is what you find out who betrayed her, and who's the most important person in her life. And then it's and you see why her head started growing out of proportion with the rest.
Yeah, I think that's the thing people will find maybe most surprising about the second movie, because it is very different than the first movie, and I think, you know, it's one of the reasons we spent so many years, you know, working on the script
Yeah.
and working on the story and trying to land on that theme of, you know, the preciousness of time and how your loved ones and people you spend your time with is really the most important thing. And I think when they see the movie, they'll probably be surprised at how emotional it is, I hope, you know, in that way, of
So
those themes we tried to take on.
it was very clever, the plot you came up with. It's tricky with this, because as we know that when you look at the original, there is no plot. He's a genius. He invented all these amazing characters, all these amazing themes and icons, and everyone knows Wonderland and what he created and Alice. But the actual story, there isn't much of a story, because it's about a dream,
That's
which has
true.
no plot. But this is, but I think Linda came up with an ingenious plot again, and the idea of time, and also through looking glass, and you look into a glass, into a mirror, and you see things that are reversed. And so this is all about going back in time and time reversing. And in a way it's a sequel, but it's also a prequel, because Alice goes through, and then she needs to go back and find, well, she wants to go back in the past to try and correct the past.
And seeing the characters when they were young was so fun. The young
the little
Red
baby.
Queen, I love that little baby Cheshire cat. I love all of them. It's just
Yeah.
adorable.
We're much cuter than
Yeah.
them anyway.
All right, Cassie Bailey Green asks, I noticed the Red Queen is always screaming. How much of a challenge is it to voice her and not ruin your vocal cords?
Well, you can't not ruin them. I mean, there is no, you just can't. I mean, I'd forgotten that in fact, sort of post 12 o'clock, I couldn't really talk much,
Yeah.
could I?
Even the first after the first one or two takes of really, really screaming hard, because then we would hear the strain in your voice
and then
because you can only push it so hard. Yeah.
So I just had a broken voice.
Yeah. You know what it made me think of when I just read that?
A mouse.
Yeah,
What?
I thought of that fantastic beverage bar. In fact, it's funny, on another movie I just did, there was an actor that had to scream a lot, and I was talking about the beverage bar and how helpful it seems, which is some hot and some cold.
I'm just neurotic.
And some in the middle, right?
Yeah, I just drink a lot.
Yeah.
Not alcohol.
But it's literally, for people that don't know, it's literally like if you imagine a belt that has 5 Starbucks cups with a straw, right? Or sometimes he had a little carrier, right?
She takes energy, that Red Queen, because of the makeup, you wake up quite early. So by the time you get to the set, you're already slightly jet lagged.
Right,
and then
it's
you're
true.
thingy. I mean, not to,
because you're always coming in at 3 a.m. and the rest of us are coming in at 6 a.m.
So by
and
the
you've already
time
been there
we've
3
already
hours.
lived a day,
Right.
and then you get on set and then you have to be on. That's the whole responsibility, and feel alive and ready to concentrate. So I have resorted to in my old age to having drinks of but I used to always do it. I worked with Woody Allen once, and he pretended to poison my drinks. Because I feel like for each take you got to give your all. So I just want to feel.
He pretended, meaning he put something in and pretended it was poison,
or maybe he did poison.
He just told you that he put something in your drink.
Well, I turned around because everyone was laughing just before a take, and he was like pretending to poison them. But maybe he did slip something in, and that's my problem. I guess. So. But it does help. Because it makes one, well, I don't know what it does, but it helps me think.
Well, obviously, I mean, I think the warmth is soothing on your throat when you're screaming all the time, right? It must be.
Keeping lubricated in every sense is good for one.
It's always good.
Yeah.
For everything. Okay. Flora Lima would like to know, what is the movie that inspired you to become an actress and for me to become a producer? Well, I can easily go first and
okay,
say,
which one's yours?
Well, 1986, so I was finishing my 4th year at USC at film school, and I had decided from a very young age I wanted to make movies, because I was fascinated with just the visual storytelling of movies, and I saw Room with a View, amazing movie that came out that year. Yes, it came out the spring when I was about to graduate from film school. And the thing about film school is, we got very caught up in trying to make our little movies. It seems like another generation, because of course we made them on film then, because no one had an iPhone or an iPad. We shot on 8mm and then 16mm, and that was a big deal back in the dark ages when I was in film school. But I remember seeing the movie, and I have seen it many, many times since, Room with a View, probably dozens of times. And I was so inspired because it was a different kind of film than a lot of the ones that I've been watching, certainly than the ones that I've been making. But the idea that stories like that existed that were just so rich, and the characters and the world, and it just seemed, it's still it lives with me still. I know you've done so many incredible pieces, but that one for me was very inspirational.
So you know what happened the other day? James Ivory, who's amazing, he's 89, he's going to be 89 in June, and he looks exactly the same. Some people just don't age. He's a complete age defy. And he arrived at my doorstep, and he emailed me as a little thing. He always called me little thing. He was in a Room with a View. My nickname was a little thing, Cecil Bieswell. So ever since then, they call me little thing. He says, little thing, I'm coming to see you, and I have something in my kitchen, and I think you should have it. So and he arrived literally last Sunday with it, and it was the brass plate of Pensione Bertolini.
Aww, that he kept.
He'd kept in his kitchen at Claverack all these years, and he said, you must have it. So I have it.
Oh, and where will you put it?
I might put it outside my door, but then people might...
But they'll know you with that.
Not phone,
Right.
Not phone on the mouse for a room with you. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I've got lots of places. Don't know yet. I'll find its perfect place. But
that's an amazing thing to have, though.
That's so nice.
I'm sure
nice.
It's an eclectic collection.
No, I loved. For that film I owe so much to. But for me, the film that really inspired me was, I think when I was 13, was a film called My Brilliant Career.
Oh, right, yeah.
With Judy Davis. And I saw that film. And I think I just wanted to be the character, too.
Right.
Of this woman who's so determined to forge a career for herself. And I really identified with her. And I wanted to be her. But from a long while, I think I wanted, as a child, I thought, if you watch television or you watched a film, you could walk in. It's a bit like Alice through Looking Glass. You walk into a different world. I wanted to escape sometimes the reality, which
Right.
often can seem pretty dull, and pretend.
Right.
Little did I know that when you walk on a film set, it's the most artificial thing ever, and it's not like, oh, you're going back in time, or
Yeah.
But it's still enchanting. There's something magic about it.
Yeah, I always found that it is kind of, as you said, that journey into the world of pretend, and then there were always lessons for me, in movies that I watched, in good movies that I watched, or in the ones that I've made that, I think work. It's that idea of it is artificial, and obviously, it's characters and situations that are created. But for me, I would sit there in the dark, and I just felt like I would learn something about the world. I would learn something about myself, something surprising from watching, images flicker on a screen in the
your
dark.
soul grows, and you don't have to even do much. You just sit passively, and your soul grows, and you travel all over the world. It's such an education.
Yeah.
It's of everything. It is amazing, and you do come out feeling you travelled and escaped on a mini holiday. It is the most amazing magical medium.
Yeah.
I just don't see enough. Myself, I gotta watch more.
All right, here's a tough one. Sam Bruce says, how would you describe the new movie, in just 3 words?
A must see.
Yay, must
What do you
see.
have?
I'm going with her. A must
must
see.
Or
Definitely go.
see you there.
Go early and go often, because there are things you will see the second time that you didn't catch the first time. It's very
Yeah, and I
rich
don't
with-
think you necessarily need the first one. Do you need to see the first one to make sense of the second? I don't think so. The whole thing is that Lewis Carroll's all about nonsense anyway.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that you need to know, because, I think where we start, with Alice on this one, of her coming back from the journey, I think you could just jump in there and watch it for sure.
Yeah.
Here's a very, 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 this might be the most difficult question
Yeah.
from Isaac D. Oliveira Hollanda. What is your favorite outfit of the Red Queen? Because there's so many good ones.
I had lots of good ones, didn't I?
So many good ones, and new good ones in the second one too. Very hard to pick if you have to pick from the.
Well, Colleen is a genius, Atwood. So it's always great to work with her. So we had lots of fun because my character starts off like having been banished, in the middle of nowhere. So I'm still in the same outfit. I still think I'm queen. So I'm pretty delusional. So there's a bit of Miss Havisham there, meaning she's just sort of still clinging on to the idea that it's a bit Sunset Boulevard too, is that I am still queen. And I have to abuse something, and there is nothing to abuse, so I abuse vegetables. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had this amazing dress which was disintegrating, and I had so much crap in it too. It was like this train that went, and I gathered everything.
Oh yeah.
Such a lot.
Because I remember the floor in the bedroom of the
terrible.
castle, in your room of the castle, that stuff would all get caught.
I loved that costume and the costume fitting, and then I hated Colin when I got on the set because it was all bumpy too, and because my chambers covered in crap and leaves and so I wouldn't go anywhere without dragging everything with me. It was difficult to maneuver, but it was beautiful. We did that photo shoot. Do you remember that photo shoot?
So beautiful.
And that was
with
when
Midnight.
I suddenly
that
thought,
was. It looked like a photo shoot from Vogue, but it was just for the movie.
oh, I loved that. I did love that costume. And then I had some armor.
That one with the short,
I had
with the
some
thing in the
hideous
back,
armor.
the one you for the finale, right?
The armor. We
The
were
organic
going
armor.
into battle, and I was it's like Joan of Arc, she's only Joan of Arc, but I had needles all over me, so no one could come near me with that. I was like a walking pincushion. It was some amazing. I took about 3/4 of an hour to get dressed. It was like being a real queen.
And some of them were very uncomfortable, and like you would have to perch up at the edge of your chair because you couldn't really sit back.
Yeah, it wasn't a restful time. I was paid.
Lots,
but it was
of
fun.
hard work.
But amazing amount of work from other people. People you never see. I mean, like the amount of layers I had on.
Right.
It was they were in detail that you'll never see. I had some great underwear which no one will see, but Colleen always knows that I love, and I really do love my bloomers.
Right.
And with little heart motifs, things that I'll only know.
Yeah, you really do need to see them in close up. But some of them are actually touring. Like we have them down at D23, and some of the outfits are like on the move around the world, so people will get to see them in person, and seeing them up close is actually fantastic.
You want to see the craftsmanship is amazing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, God, the people, all that work, like the carvery, the set's amazing. Like, do you remember the door?
Wait,
door.
no, wait. Is that at your house, or we still have it in storage?
I asked for so many things.
Because I thought we were going to send that to your house.
I've got nothing.
I think you might get that door eventually.
Please.
Yeah, once we make sure
no, I
we don't
also was
need
going to get the little.
what
happened to that?
Mechanical
Yeah.
head chopper?
Yeah.
Oh, that we could find.
Can we?
Yeah.
Because I saw on my
think maybe
iPhone
Dan
a
has
list
that.
of my. I got nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
Oh, and now your iPhone, because
Okay,
you've
there were
switched, you
two
don't
other
have the
things.
magic mirror that I got you anymore. Remember that
Because
great
the
phone
phone
cover that
grew.
looked like you were looking?
I still have it at home.
We need that. That was
Yeah.
Moschino. That was so beautiful. You know what you probably haven't seen yet, but I was on the set this week of, Pink has done this incredible song. She did that cover of White Rabbit, which everyone has seen. Then she did an amazing song called Just
Yeah.
Like Fire that plays over a very entertaining and animated sequence that we did that isn't finished, which is why you haven't seen it. But I got to go on set of the video this week. That brilliant director Dave Meyers is directing the video, and Colleen did costumes for Pink, so she got to share your discomfort. And also, so beautiful. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say, but let's say that it has a chessboard theme to the video, and that Pink is playing maybe characters from the chessboard. If you could imagine Colleen's interpretation of like a knight or a rook or a queen or a pawn, but I'm not sure I was supposed to say that. But
a pawn.
Lots of pawns. Now we're back to the American British, right? How do you say?
Yeah, never mind. No.
You wouldn't say. If I say pawn, you say
never mind.
pawn. You say some beautiful way of saying it, some much better way. How do you stay so young and healthy? From Kendra Gilbert.
That's very sweet of you, but you don't see me up close. It's
I see her up close. She looks amazing. Gorgeous.
I'm not, but I drink lots of water, and I don't know. It's a question of I'm not bits of me. It's funny. I think bits of one are different ages. Like my knees are ancient. My eyes are absolutely 100 years old. They don't function much. My ears go slightly deaf. But other than that, I'm quite strong.
But you eat very healthy. I remember the last time we had lunch, you had something very healthy, and I think I ate French fries.
Yeah, I do eat healthy.
Right.
But I do like food too. So I don't eat a French fry if you want a French fry.
Right.
You gotta live. Actually,
That's
the point. Live. Don't overdo. Don't overthink it.
Excellent. Okay, here's one from
I have fun.
Ascara Gilchrist. You are a master at villainesses like the Red Queen and Bellatrix Lestrange, but you have also played many good characters like the Fairy Godmother and Queen Elizabeth. Which do you prefer, good or evil?
Well, I don't really differentiate between good and evil, and so when you play a baddie, you don't think, oh, I'm playing a baddie. You think you're a goodie, because from their point of view, they are a goodie. You can't judge a character. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So, but I guess, I like anything that's well written, but I am drawn strangely to sick people who tend to be therefore possibly so-called, bad.
Right.
Because it's always interesting to see how they got there, and I want to work out why they turn out like that. But I really don't mind. I mean, the Queen Mother was very complex. As long as there's a complexity there, I don't care whether they're good or bad. But put it this way, they can be also bad people can be funny, and I like the funny bit.
Right. Or good people can also have very uncomfortable costumes, because I remember you talking about that beautiful costume from Cinderella, which was also quite difficult to manage.
That was the worst costume.
But it looked amazing. But you said it was quite difficult to manage.
It was completely. I had about. It was like a building.
Right.
Yeah. And I had.
I love that movie so much. Just Kenneth Branagh just made it just lush and amazing.
He did a brilliant job at getting that right. It was a very difficult tone to get right, but he was very skilled. And it was fun working with him again.
All right, here's an easier one for me. Wesley asked, do you like tea, and what is your favorite kind? Now, I will say, I came home from the 6 months in London obsessed with tea, and I do drink tea all the time, so I like lots of tea, but there's one called Mighty Leaf. I think it's a chamomile. You're going to say something very traditional, like a PG Tips or something.
No, I like just normal builder's tea, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then you have to say what builder's tea is, because people who haven't lived there don't know that.
What do you call it? What's builder's? PG?
Builder's tea means like a black tea with milk in it.
Yeah.
And it has caffeine.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Because all you Brits think that those of us that drink like a berry decaf, that's not really tea, that it's just like funny water, right?
Yeah. No, don't like that.
my decaf chamomile doesn't even count.
No, that's wet.
No.
Yeah, it's completely.
Okay, what is your favorite style of music from Olja Kronberger, or your favorite song?
I don't know. I love music. I do love musicals.
Yeah, I love musicals too. I'm pretty obsessed with musicals. I also really love movie soundtracks.
I love movies.
Like I love listening
Actually,
to
that's
the
true.
score.
Thank you for reminding me. I do. I like.
Oh, Howard's End. The score from Howard's End
I like underscore.
is so beautiful. So
Yeah,
beautiful.
Richard Robbins was amazing. He was an old man, and I loved his music. I like actually the score to Morris is great.
Right.
Patrick Doyle scores to everything. He did Cinderella.
No,
I
Doyle
find
did Much Ado, right? Oh, so good.
he did Much Ado.
Yeah,
Henry V.
one of the best ones. Yeah.
He did Cinderella too. He's always got such a great, a beautiful melody. I mean, lots of Schindler's List.
I don't remember.
I mean, John Williams. I mean, he's amazing. I mean,
Morricone, I'm obsessed with.
Morricone.
Yeah. Morricone, I actually played at the birth of each of my 3 children,
did
so
he?
that I would
Did
feel
they?
happy. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. I had the
Which
same
one?
songs
The
playing. Well,
what, the clarinet one?
the Cinema
Mission.
Paradiso, the
I
one
love
from the
Cinema Paradiso,
Mission. Those
yes.
are my 2 favorites. Yes.
Yeah.
But they're all good.
Do they recognize them, do you think, kids?
Well, I played them in the car now, but they
Yeah,
call
yeah.
it mommy music because they're teenagers.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like,
I
oh,
know.
now it's time for some mommy music because now I'm that old person listening to classical
Yeah.
music.
No, I know. Nell doesn't like classical. She likes Mr. Sandman, which I like. It's just, it's an oldie.
Here's a new one from Emily Pollinger. If you could play any other character in the Alice movies, who would you play?
I play the Hatter because he got the best costumes. Yes. That's the thing with Johnny is that he always gets amazing costumes.
He has good ones in the new one. That
does.
Safari Hatter is really
Safari,
good
and
in the new
all-
movie,
Yeah,
right? But you have great costumes too.
I do.
You can't complain.
Well, I get envious. And he's got all these accessories too, and amazing mittens,
Oh yeah, exactly.
and the hats.
Yeah.
Right.
Sasha's costume seemed very uncomfortable. I don't think anyone
I
was
don't know how
envious
he
of
did
that.
that. No,
And also because he had that
was-
piece on his head for the CG. Yeah,
What's it look like? See, I've never seen it.
it looks good.
I want to see
Yeah,
it.
we're so close to done. We're
I
just
really need
days
to.
away from
I
it
have
being
no idea
finished.
what we've made.
Susan D asks, do you play any instruments? So I badly play the cello. I played
Do
better
you?
as a child, but I think that's also why I'm so obsessed with like Morricone and classical music.
Yeah.
And there's actually a beautiful, I could call it a CD, but then I would be aging myself.
No. We're
Of Yo-Yo Ma playing all the Morricone.
I love Yo-Yo Ma.
That's
I've got it.
genius.
I've got it,
So
actually.
I have it in my
Oh,
car.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do you play any instruments?
And I love the cello. It's like the closest to the human voice.
Right, because it's so beautiful and resonant.
It's got a real soul. I play the piano a tiny bit. Not. I'd love to learn something though.
And do your kids play? Do you have them do lessons?
Well, Billy is really talented, but obviously just, he hasn't touched a piano. I mean, he doesn't practice. Nell is she does piano too. She's very conscientious. But I want to make a band. I want to be like Von Traps.
Oh, with your family,
I want
with your kids.
a drum. I want to learn the drums actually, but then to get a drum kit would be really stupid for the house. I mean, Nell wants to play the trumpet and the ukulele. We could get something together, and I want to sing. I mean, I sometimes sing, but I want to sing some more. So.
But you
I
said
just
you have a
wanted
big
to be-
birthday coming up, so you should do something
Yeah.
shocking like that, right? Like
It's a deeply shocking.
learn the ukulele or
I
buy the
might be
drums
doing
or
that,
start the band.
and a circus act. No,
Right.
I've got a few ideas. I have. Unfortunately, people are going to have to hear me sing.
Well, because you have to, commemorate the date. It's a big deal, a big birthday.
It might not be on the date.
Right.
It always takes me. I celebrated my 40th when I was 43, so I think I'll probably do the same when I'm 50.
Well, hopefully this year on your birthday, since it's only 2 days after the movie comes out, you'll be celebrating that everyone is
I
going
wish.
and liking the movie.
Yes, I wish.
Yay!
I mean, I hope.
Yes.
Yes, God, I hope so. Please, just for me. Can they just go for my birthday?
Exactly.
That'd be
In
so
honor of Helena's birthday,
That'd be so
if you
nice.
really love her, go see the movie, and that will be a happy birthday wish for
No
her.
pressure.
Okay, Andrew F. If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Bread.
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you. Yeah, we talked about this. Bread, carbs,
White.
pasta, something delicious.
I always love
And as you know, French fries always for me in that mix. Eleanor Kellett asks, "What is your favorite book of the moment?"
I don't read enough. That's my bane in my life, but what I'm doing lately is I'm reading a lot about Maya Angelou, who I don't know how I got into her, but and she's an amazing one. I basically want to grow up to be her.
Yeah.
a tall order, and she was tall too. She was 6 foot.
Wow, I didn't know
She's
that. I never
amazing.
actually met her.
Amazing.
You mean to be like her in the way she writes? To be like her,
Everything.
she changes the world? To be
The
like
whole
her,
thing.
she's your inspiration?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole thing. She'd be great to grow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But so who else am I? So I read little bits, but the book, I want to find a good book.
Yeah.
You read a
I'm
good
reading
book?
a good one now that I like. So I had seen a TED Talk, as
yeah.
many people did,
That's
by
what I
this
love.
woman, Brene Brown, who
Yeah.
spoke on vulnerability.
Okay.
And she has a number of good books. I think I'm on the last one now that I hadn't read, which is called Daring Greatly.
Okay.
And it's
Oh, I
about
like the title.
a lot about vulnerability, but about how that shows up, in your work and in your parenting and in your
Okay.
life and in all your relationships.
I can certainly. Yeah.
I've almost just finished it the last couple of days, Daring Greatly.
Okay.
Everything by Brene is fascinating, though, and
Okay.
really, really.
And when do you read?
Well, sadly, I end up mostly reading for work. So my
Yeah.
children tease me that the rare times we're on vacation, I actually like to read for fun. So we'll be by the pool and I'll pick up a book and read it. But I'll say, oh, this isn't for work. So that's more
This
fun
isn't
for me than
Yeah,
reading
yeah.
for work.
Yeah, no, it is, because there's a different, you can relax, you don't have to be judging or thinking or editing or
Yes.
it's a story or
But
whatever.
I love to read. And obviously, it's so nice to get to make these 2 movies now based on this incredible literary inspiration. I think we're out of time. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much, my majestic queen.
Thank you.
I really
Majestic
appreciate
producer.
it. And thank you for your questions. You can post more and we can try and answer some online if we didn't get to yours. But thank you so much for joining us. And go see Alice Through the Looking Glass May 27th.